What's going on, guys? It's Asal, and today we're going to be discussing some ideas about class balance in Battlefield 5, as I've seen a few people on Twitter sharing their ideas about this, which has inspired me to do the same. Now, speaking of which, if you are on Twitter, you can stay up to date with this channel by following me at Asal. There's a link in the description. Now, I'm not going to go into huge detail about how I think each class should be set up in Battlefield 5, but rather highlight some key changes that I think would help diversify gameplay and encourage players to try out some of the less used classes. First and most importantly, mortars need to not be a thing. Ever again. I hope we can all agree on this point. They're beyond frustrating to get killed by, and they really don't add anything fun to the game. In fact, the only thing mortars are any good at is making me want to find a new server. In regards to actual class changes, a really interesting idea is to change which classes can use medkits and ammo boxes, as the latter is all too often in short supply. Now, medkits are usually fairly easy to find, as everyone loves running with the high-powered assault rifles such as the M416, the AEK, and the ACE-23. So generally speaking, assault is the most common class. Not always, but often you will see a lot of players running assault, especially on the smaller maps. Now, on larger maps, this isn't so much as a problem, as a lot of people like to choose engineer, but it definitely can be a problem on the smaller maps. Consequently, ammo crates are sometimes hard to find. So how do we solve this? Well, if you've played Hardline, you'll know that Visceral added a cool little feature that allowed you to grab ammo from a support player without them actually having to throw anything on the ground. Now, seeing this return in Battlefield 5 would be excellent, but that still doesn't address the fact that not many players play support. So instead, why don't we have assault players carry ammo and support players carry the health? Now, this would result in more ammo boxes being thrown down, as people like playing with those high-powered assault rifles, and potentially less medkits being thrown down. But since medkits are usually in pretty high demand, it would incentivize more players to play support. Another interesting idea is removing the spawn beacon from the recon class and giving it to another class such as assault or engineer. The reason for this is to try and minimize the amount of rooftop snipers that you see in a game. Sure, if a sniper has a squad mate with a spawn beacon, they will still be able to get up on rooftops fairly easily, but not quite as easily as before. Now, I have nothing against the recon class. I love sniping. I think it contributes to a more dynamic game overall, but sniping from rooftops is something that really doesn't need to be encouraged, in my opinion. When it comes to gadgets, I'd like to see Battlefield 5 stay away from gadgets that allow a player to achieve a kill in an unfair manner. Now, I already mentioned the mortar, but I'd like to add the UCAV to this list, as it's also somewhat rage-inducing to get killed by. Now, when someone kills me in Battlefield, I don't want to feel like I was killed with a weapon or a gadget that takes no skill. I want to feel like I was outplayed. That way, I can try to approach that situation different the next time. Now, one of the main draws of first-person shooters, or just any competitive game really, is that desire to get better. But if you keep feeling like you're getting killed by a weapon that takes no skill, it's very easy to become frustrated and simply go elsewhere for that competitive fix. I've seen some posts in the Battlefield forums about restricting how many players can select a specific class in a team, or even in a squad for that matter. Now, this would definitely solve the problem of class diversity, though I don't think it would be the healthiest option for doing so. The reason being is that people play Battlefield to have fun. They play to enjoy themselves. But say, for example, you love to snipe. It's all you want to play Battlefield for, but all of a sudden you can't snipe because there are already 5 snipers on your team. And that's not good, because I think if you've paid money to play a game, you should be able to play that game how you want to play it, regardless of what the game thinks an ideal team setup is. Now, the best way to encourage class diversity is to simply ensure that each class brings something both fun and helpful to the team, because if a class is helpful to the team but not fun, there will inevitably be an imbalance of players that choose that class. Now, I'm aware that this video probably won't have any bearing on how Battlefield 5 actually plays out, because the game is supposedly quite close to being finished, but regardless, it's fun to speculate. Now, if you have an idea for class balance in Battlefield 5, leave that in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this. Now, if you have enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you want to see more Battlefield content and just stay up to date on everything Battlefield 5, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Now, everyone, this has been Asal, and I will see you guys next time.